In tonight's edition of Cuba Coast to Coast, we examine Santiago de Cuba's music history.
It's in Santiago where the traditional sun was born. And Local 10 News reporter Hatzel Vela and his crew arrived just as the city was preparing for its annual carnival, a week-long festival full of music and dance.
We arrived in Santiago at a good time. Santiagueros, as they're called, were getting ready for carnival. A couple brushstrokes here and there, but for the most part, the food stands were ready to go. At night, on the streets, you see how they get ready. 3 months of practice every night, because these young folks want to be the best performers of carnaval.
Lo máximo, es la vida entera para el santiaguero.
Probably the best time of the year for folks who live here, says Gabriel Lopez, who is the group's choreographer, but also a professional dancer.
Viene desde nuestros ancestros y lo hemos ido cultivando y defendiendo.
It's something that dates back to our ancestors, and we have cultivated and defended this tradition, says Sonilda Nelson, the mother of one of the dancers.
Es un momento de júbilo, de participación, donde todos estamos en familia.
It's a couple days of joy where we all participate, she says, and surround ourselves with family. It's a time when other Santiagueros, natives of this province, come back home.
Desde que nacen están en el carnaval, en la conga y en la diversión. Eso es natural de Santiago.
Since we're born, it's all about carnaval and conga.
Gracias por hoy.
Practice ends for the night.
Lleva mucho tiempo, pero hay mucho sacrificio.
This 20-year-old dancer named Leonard says it takes a lot of time and sacrifice. But in the end, it's worth it.
Bueno, yo pienso ser médico, pero como hobby lo puedo tomar la danza.
His buddy, 14-year-old Ernesto, wants to be a doctor, but dancing, he says, can always be a hobby. We find out it's not a hobby. This is what Santiago de Cuba looks like on a Monday night. Believe it or not, this happens every night, Monday through Friday. Dancing and music is a way of life here in Santiago, really in Cuba. At a nearby home, the living room has a full-on concert.
Es un lugar donde se baila la música cubana tradicional.
Traditional Cuban music, and the dancing doesn't stay too far behind.
Que nuestros hijos y nuestra generación mantengan esta raíz y esta cubanía.
These folks want to make sure their children hold on to these roots, what they call their cubanía. You cannot miss in Santiago. Santiago is the second largest in Cuba after Havana. Coming up tomorrow night on Local 10 News at 6, we'll show you how Santiago played a role in the revolution and how the town is still struggling from a recent storm well known here in the States. Lori Calvin.